Hey guys, my name is Shreyas and welcome to Simple Chemistry. Welcome to our next unit. In this unit, we're going to stop talking about these, vague things that we've been talking about in the first unit and really start to focus on the critical, the more chemistry-like things. Like when you walked into chemistry, you probably thought you were going to learn about atoms and things like that. So that's in this unit, we're going to really talk about those things. Uh, but before we talk about those things, we're going to have to memorize a few elements. Be able to look at the symbol for an element and know the name, and do the opposite. Be able to look at the name for an element and know the symbol. This is very critical, and this is probably one of the first pitfalls that chemistry students fall out for because they don't take the time to do this because, their teacher might just say, hey, this is a quiz, and you don't study for it. But really, this is probably one of the most important things that you need to know because this is like the language for chemistry. It's kind of like, just to put this into perspective, imagine trying to learn arithmetic, but you didn't really have a good grasp on what numbers are. In the same sense, you're going to need to know these elements and the names of them because it's just the language of chemistry. It's just so essential that you know this. So make sure you take the time to do this, okay? So I've gone, fortunately for you, you don't have to memorize every element on the periodic table, but I have gone and taken the time to actually go through the periodic table and see, point out, sorry, all the elements that you are, common and you probably need to know. Obviously, your teacher is going to give you maybe not expect you to memorize all of these, or maybe expect you to memorize more. So, pay attention to your teacher and see, make sure you know. But at least in terms of the AP Chemistry test and everything through this course, these are the elements I picked out which you probably need to know. Okay, these are the important ones, the ones I've highlighted. So let's quickly go through each one of them. Okay, so this is hydrogen, this is helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon, sodium. This is probably the first weird one. Sometimes for all of them we've gone through so far, the symbol, it looks remarkably similar to the name, so those are easy to memorize. But sodium is different, even though it's Na, it's sodium. Magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon. This is another weird one that students get tripped up by. Even though this is K, the symbol is K, this element is potassium, calcium, scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese. This is another thing that trips students up. Students mix up magnesium with manganese. Do not, they sound very similar and they have similar symbols. Make sure you don't mix that up. This Mg is magnesium, Mn is manganese. Don't mix those up. Another weird one, Fe is iron, even though it's the symbol doesn't look a lot like the name. Fe is iron. Don't let that trip you up. This is cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc, gallium, germanium, arsenic, selenium, bromine, krypton. Okay, here let's see, rubidium, strontium. This one here is palladium, silver, cadmium. The silver, by the way, again, kind of weird. Ag is silver, even though symbols don't look like the name. This one's also kind of weird. Sn is tin, uh, you know, and the one right next to it, Sb is antimony, Antimony. So make sure those don't trip you up. Iodine, xenon, cesium, barium, platinum. Au is gold. Don't mix that up either. And don't mix up Ag with Au. Both of them are weird. You might associate silver and gold together. I know I did this, and I sometimes mix them up. Ag is silver. Au is gold. Okay. This is another one. Hg is mercury. Here, Pb lead. Another kind of weird one. Bismuth. Polonium, acetylene, and radon. Okay. So don't get confused by the ones I've pointed out, and also, make sure you can do it both ways. Here I've given you the symbols, and then we talked about the names. You need to be able to identify them in the opposite way too. Like you're given the name be able to write the symbol. It's critical that you learn how to do both, okay? If you just do one, you're not prepared. Make sure you can do both, and very, very easily too. It should not be something. It should be something that's very quick. Just like how I say 1 + 1, you already know that's 2. In the same sense, this needs to be like second nature to you. Okay, but once you can do that, you're going to be ready for the rest of this unit. But make sure you take the time to actually do that. Okay, elements that you need to memorize are as simple as that.